Good morning. This is our last day at our Airbnb. We're locking this place down. Got everything packed up.
So long, Big Hill Retreat. You have been very good to us. Definitely would recommend to anybody. Super accommodating. And you really can't beat that view. Sad to leave here, but we've got another adventure ahead of us. See y'all later.
Like that, they're the least priority.
Wow.
And then this is our purpose and creation.
Sheep truck.
Going to a jiu-jitsu tournament. I know. You would get fucking.
It's just we made it ourselves. Like we wrote it, we did it.
At least
There's
three.
no fucking.
Like that kind of a thing where it's just him and his bud. Funny. It was like creepy.
We had to stop here because I wanted to show y'all this mountain range we're about to drive through. They are giant. I don't think this camera's doing it any justice.
We're on a ball of dirt and water, traveling through space at this big, and nobody's fucking talking about it.
Visit military establishments. Like they find
So much of this shit you see these videos like.
It's crazy how much distance is between the truck and the trailers.
I've heard that
Awesome.
We drove across the South Island.
All the way across the country, from East Coast to West Coast.
Very scenic drive. It was super cool.
Beautiful.
Okay,
All right.
it actually worked this time.
Takes no time to pump either. $40 worth of gas, that's it.
Or if the prime
We
minister
made it to the rainforest.
decides he wants an election, he can call it.
We're here.
This is so cute.
It has to.
Check out our little rainforest hut. Wow. We got the lights on for us already. Dang.
For a friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a friend. Got the bed, bath.
And beyond.
It's not a lot to it. Plenty out there to do.
And it's like a little community out here. You can kind of just walk around. They've got like a sauna.
We just took showers.
After the sauna,
Yeah, we tried a sauna out for the first time. So we did about 20 minutes and I don't know, it felt like 110,000 degrees in there.
I couldn't really breathe.
It was kind of hard to breathe, but it was interesting. I kind of really liked it.
Kind of felt like a high, like a nicotine high.
Yeah, once you get
afterwards.
out.
It was crazy. I was like kind of dizzy. Like it was nice and cold out here, and I was walking back to the hut, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, so we did that, cooled down, took showers, and now we're about to go get some dinner. We have reservations at 7:30, and it's about 7:25 now, so it's only a couple minute walk away. And then we're gonna come back and chill, I guess. My glass is dirty, so that's off to a bad start. Monsoon, what are we having? This has been calling my name all day long. I'd say about 3 hours into that 6-hour drive, I was like, man, that would taste so good. Cheers, baby. That's it. I went with the smash burger, double smash burger, some french fries. What'd you get, Katie?
Mushroom fettuccine.
Very nice. And what did you add to
A
it?
little bit of bacon.
Gone. Took me a little bit.
Mostly gone.
Yeah, I couldn't finish the fries. The ketchup here is like, I don't know, they put a weird seasoning in it. How was your dinner?
It was really good. Very filling.
Nice.
Had a cider.
Cider and a ranch water. Very good. And we got back from eating last night and didn't really do much after that. But we're gonna go get some breakfast and then we've got a kayaking adventure today. So I think that entails a bit of a hike.
Does my hair look crazy?
Nah, it looks great.
Okay.
That's a New Zealand bellbird up there. They're doing all their glacier tours on helicopters. All the rich folk paying for them. Damn, they're coming in, Jack. It's like 3 of them just landed in the last 45 seconds. This is where we're coming for breakfast. Cute place, full of beans. Ow, hit my head on that umbrella. What a precious place this is. I like the vibes, and it's warm. Beautiful, just like you. Scrotum.
Yours looks like a heart. Mine looks like a scrotum.
Yeah, it does. Nice little breakfast here. Got some overnight oats. They call this a bacon and cheese topper. I'm not quite sure what it is. Kayla got the same thing with chia pudding.
Yeah.
Nice. It's like a hash brown with bacon and cheese filling. Quite interesting. Place was really good. Yeah, it's like a hash brown with like cheesy bacon innards in it. And we're just gonna take this to go because we got to get ready to go on our kayaking tour. We were talking about skydiving maybe, but I don't really want to be worried about dying all day long. And I've done it before. Kayla's never done it, but
I'd probably be a wreck.
one day.
We ready to yak?
We just got lathered up.
Got some screen.
We got some screen. This is the facility. Alright. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah. Looks like you might have a little bit more leg room in the back.
Yeah, that'll work.
Guys, I'll show you all how to adjust your really simple.
It is gorgeous out here.
Peaceful. Yeah, where we are now. Yeah.
So that peak right about there, that's Mount Cook. That's the tallest point in all of New Zealand.
This dates back to the Jurassic period. It's approximately 160 million years old, this forest. So if New Zealand did have land dinosaurs, this is what they would have been walking through. Old growth, and old growth is the one that I deem the most important. And old growth just means it's never been harvested by humans before. So to understand how special that is here in New Zealand, when the Maori people first arrived here, they harvested around 15% of the native forest. Then the Europeans arrived, harvested another 75%. So 85% of New Zealand's native forest has been cut down, harvested, or tampered with by us humans. Leaves only 15% remaining, and the Okarita forest is part of that remaining 15%. It's kind of crazy to think that at one point in time, the whole of New Zealand would have been covered in this forest right here. Incredibly slow growing forest. So 2 reasons for this. 1, the soil levels are incredibly shallow. So even just looking along the side here, you're going to see more rocks and roots rather than dirt itself. So it just means it lacks quite a bit of nutrients. It's not very fertile. The other reason is the forest floor only gets around 2 to 5% sunlight due to the fact that the canopy is so incredibly dense. So these trees have just adapted now to sort of grow their roots outwards rather than digging them deep. And they will also grow very tall and thin to reach the top of the canopy. And while they're doing that, they will do it at an incredibly slow rate to preserve that energy.
We're beaching up.
So that makes it a bit less pleasant.
It's a rat trap, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. This would have been made for rats and stoats. The reason I know this is a possum is about the same size as this trap. So how this would work is we'd put a juicy piece of meat in here, egg, something that's going to smell real good. They're going to come through this little hole here, through this little hole. This will typically be set up here, and you've got that pressure plate. As soon as they step on that pressure plate, boom. Yeah. Bye-bye stoat, bye-bye rat. Now these are planted all around the forest, and these are put here by DOC, the Department of Conservation. One goal of helping the wildlife is by making New Zealand predator-free. So New Zealand's originally a land of birds, bugs, lizards, and bats. Not a single native land mammal used to live here. But of course, Europeans decided to bring all of them over. So now we have rabbits, deers, stoats, possums, rats, all that kind of stuff. They're kind of a huge issue for the native wildlife, destroying a lot of the nature. In English, it's literally just the blue mushroom. In Māori, it's English, this is kidney fern, because of course it just looks like a kidney. But in Māori, this is kopa kopa, which sort of translates to grasp, basically. This sort of works really well with these guys as they are epiphytes, so it means they grow on other trees. They're not parasitic, so not feeding off the tree, just using it to get nice and high up in the canopy, okay?
Wow.
So neither are really benefiting besides the kopa kopa, just to get high up, to get that sunlight. But this guy's also 1 cell thick, so if you do get a closer look, you can sort of see my finger through them there. We've also got this one here. Now in English, this is umbrella fern. It's like an umbrella. Woo. In Māori, it translates, or like their Māori word for it is tapuera kutuku, which translates to the footprint of the kutuku, as they look like the white heron footprints. Specific names, but the main name for them is konga. One of New Zealand's only native fruit. So a lot of people think the kiwi's from New Zealand. That's actually from China. Its name was originally the gooseberry, and they just brought it over here for marketing as it grew really well. Renamed it kiwi as it looked like a kiwi. And the male kayaking produces this really beautiful white flower. Now this white flower is also edible. It's very thick, very fleshy. You can peel it, eat it, tastes like honeysuckle or fruit salad. Because it tasted so good, it meant that our predators, our possums, our rats, and our stoats, they also really like this flower. So they tended to eat it a lot. Because they ate it, it meant that the other bushes were unable to pollinate to actually produce the fruit. We are now a 95% predator-free area, hoping to be 100% by the end of this year. And we've been able to see a lot of evidence of the hot forest sort of healing. So one is that we are getting the fruit back. So I can sort of peel this back here. Are you all able to see in there this sort of wonky cucumber looking thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get a photo of it as well for you guys.
Great.
So this is the fruit. Lancewood is very flexible, all right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people make snares out of these trees, which is pretty cool. But anyway, the lancewood evolved around the moa bird. The moa is just this really large ostrich-like bird that basically used to live here in New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple of statues outside of the Scenic Hotel. Yeah, massive, massive birds. They did get hunted extinction though by the Maori people, as they did almost die of starvation. The lancewood tree evolved around the moa. So while it was in its juvenile state and it was around the height that the moa could reach, it would have these black spiky leaves here so that it was not appealing for the moa to eat. Once it surpassed the height of the moa though, it turned into this tree just behind you there. You're going to see it's thin and look all the way to the top. Nice green leaves growing now, so it's able to photosynthesize. Are there any Lord of the Rings fans here? Yeah, we at least know what it is. Yeah. Gandalf's staff was made from a lancewood tree. In the Māori culture, when a woman would become pregnant, the family or the mother, she would tie a knot in a tiny little lancewood tree. And this is because they have a very similar growing stages to us humans. So once that tree started growing taller, it would grow alongside the child. And the child, of course, would decide they could become an old person. They would need a walking stick. That knot would be at the perfect height for this. Yeah. So, knot would be... so this kiwi burrow would have belonged to the roe kiwi. Now, this is the rarest of all 5 kiwi species that are now remaining in New Zealand. It's only found here in the Okarita Forest. It's not found anywhere else in the entirety of New Zealand. So the roe kiwi was only discovered 30 years ago. And when it was first discovered, they found out that the population was around 150. So very low numbers, all right? Their survival rate was around 5%. This is again due to our invasive predators. So because of this, they were pretty much instantly put on the critically endangered list. So this meant that DOC had to kind of step in and they had to help the roe kiwis out. So their way of helping was by creating this plan called Operation Nest Egg, and that was essentially taking the roe kiwi eggs and sort of raising them themselves before bringing them back into the forest again. So how this would work is a couple of DOC workers, they would have to come out here and they would have to first of all find the kiwis. Now a roe kiwi territory is around 4 square kilometers, okay? It's a humongous area for such a little bird. You're only ever going to find 2 kiwis, and that's the male and the female. So instead of spending hours, of course, trudging around the forest in hopes that they're going to sort of stumble across one of these kiwis, they would actually use their territorialness to their benefit. So roe kiwis especially, very territorial. If any kiwis sort of hear another of their species within their territory, they're basically going to want to go and find them and fight them or scare them out of it. So they're going to play some kiwi noises to lure these kiwis towards them. Of course, these kiwis are only going to find a couple of DOC workers, and these DOC workers are going to get a hold of these kiwis. They're going to put tags on them just so they can continue to monitor them, know that these are kiwis that they found, but they will very specifically only put a tracker on the male roe kiwi. Males incubate the eggs,
Wow.
Reason for this is a rowie kiwi is the size of a chicken. A rowie kiwi egg is the size of an ostrich egg, okay? It's about this big.
Wow.
Right? It's 1/3 this poor bird's size.
Oh man.
Poor old mama, she's gonna go through a 9-month pregnancy with this egg. The last 2 weeks, it's grown so big that it actually crushes her organs into her side and she cannot eat. It's like us giving birth to a 4-year-old. So poor mama, she's just laid this humongous egg. She's very malnourished, very tired, hasn't eaten in 2 weeks. She's gonna leave the burrow and Papa's gonna do a bit of work. He's gonna sit and he's gonna incubate the egg.
Very spongy soil. Back to shore.
We're about to go get some lunch, and everything here is pretty cool. It's a quick walking distance. We're gonna go grab a little bite to eat, and then we're gonna meet with our friend Daria that we just met on our kayaking trip, and we're gonna go see the glacier.
The Franz Josef Glacier. Alright, we're here at Snakebite. We're gonna figure out what we want to eat. Well, we didn't get any videos of our food, but we had some pad thai, and it was freaking fantastic. But the reason we didn't is we got talking to these couples that were sitting beside us. One couple was here doing some hunting. They were hunting from Arkansas, and they were hunting like kind of like mountain goats. They were like hairy, and they were hunting red stag, and the red stag he showed me was this giant deer with big antlers, like way bigger than an elk.
The size of my arm.
Crazy. And then the other couple was they were Instagram influencers from Germany, and I got their handle. I haven't had service to look them up yet, but they were great people, very nice.
They live in
here we
Bali
are.
though.
Yeah, they live in Bali, but they're like German influencers. So it was really neat talking to them and figuring out what they were doing here. And
Super nice people.
yeah, great
Everybody.
people. Everybody we talked to has just been so nice.
The folks from Arkansas started the conversation because they knew we weren't from here because we were saying something about Meemaw's house, and they said nobody around here says Meemaw.
So now we're about to go back, get ourselves straight, and we're gonna go visit the Franz Josef Glacier. And now we are off to the glacier. We'll meet up with our friend Daria. Probably not saying her name right. I think she said Daria. And we're all gonna ride out. She doesn't have a car. She's with a tour group, so they've only got a bus, and we told her she could tag along if she wanted, so she didn't have to walk. It's about an hour walk to get to the hiking trail.
Oh, this is the like one car at a time, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of those on the way here. This is incredible. Whatever. And Wyatt started flying his drone, and the dude was like, no drones!
They're pretty weird because I think we're gonna cross the path, you know?
Exactly. Man, that thing looks so far away from where we just were.
I know. Can't fly my drone. You can see the glacier.
Yeah.
Right there.
Is it just that Main Street forward? Dangerous, you not gonna pass it. Okay. Like this park ranger cut out.
He's like, stop!
Yeah, the road is nice and it's really old topic.
All right, we just got back from the glacier, and now we're going to the Wildlife Conservation
See
Center.
some kiwis.
Yeah, hopefully see some kiwi birds, their national bird. I told her I was only 4 years old. Gearing up to see the kiwis. I don't know.
That's gotta be. Yeah,
Sounds like a seagull.
Well done.
Oh,
Great work. This
Oh, good job, Wyatt.
great. It's a poo kicker. Fun fact, they named the fruit after the bird because it kind of looks like a kiwi. A kiwi's egg is about the size of an ostrich egg. It's a third of the size of their body. A couple at lunch that were hunting these today. They flew a helicopter up on the mountain and they shot, I think, 4 of them today. That's a tar. There's a little display of the glacier we saw earlier. Help, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. It's pretty tight. Daggone, look at y'all. A little bit of water bird. Oh man, you're missing a fin, dog. Oh, that one's perusing right there. Oh. It's like that movie, but they're penguins, not dolphins.
Amputating it, and she said that was the best thing that they could have.
Oh, they just touched. They just touched fins.
The 2 that are missing them?
Yeah, they're left-handed. This is the size of a kiwi egg. Check that out. That's nuts. This is a ostrich egg, so not much different size. Weird looking bird. We're about to start packing up to leave tomorrow from Franz Josef on our way to Queenstown.
Our last
stop.
drive and our last stop of our trip. We'll be
Last leg.
3 days, I think.
We washed up after going to the wildlife center, and then we went to dinner. On our walk back, we saw a wild parrot fly over. It was pretty crazy. They were making wild noises. We were like, what is that?
It's kind of similar to a crow.
Yeah.
Little
but
bit.
they're big birds.
Yeah. And they're green, and they've got like red underside of their wings.
Yeah. But anyway, we're wrapping up in this little cabin here, and we got, I think, another 6-hour drive tomorrow down to Queenstown. And that's our last leg, but it's supposed to be probably the most beautiful scenic part of New Zealand, from what I've heard. So.
Night night.
But for now, we're gonna pack up and hit the hay. So, good night.